Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am Mindy and we spend a lot of time reading on this channel. I just thought that it would be fun to do a video how much that I read during a week on average. I do have a son, he's 4, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So at this point in time, I don't have like a ton of time to just like sit on the couch and read all day. So I do tend to do the bulk of my reading like during lunch or when we are relaxing in the evenings, or most of my reading gets done on the weekends. So today's a Tuesday and I probably won't get a lot of reading done today. So I just thought it would be fun to just hang out and read, and we'll see if I get any pages done today. I am about to start Wild Dark Shore and I did not read a single page yet. I did open up to the first page and like put my bookmark in, but I didn't like read anything yet. So I will probably be officially starting this later. I don't know if I'm going to read anything today, like I said, so I will update you guys later. Well, it is day 2, and yesterday, let me just see how many pages I read. Not many. I literally just read during lunch, so I read 1, 2, 3 pages. Not much at all. And I just have been busy, and it's after lunch. We're heading to the park, and my son is going to play, so maybe I can read while he's playing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, just kind of depends. Well, we're home again, and I did manage to read some. I got to page 14, so I guess I read a total of 10 pages. That's just how life is for me, and I probably will get some read a little bit more before we go to bed tonight, so the day is not over yet, and I probably still will get some more reading done today. The other thing is, I don't really use audiobooks. Like, I personally just enjoy reading a physical book or on my Kindle. I don't love listening to books. That's just my thing. And like, yeah, I know people listen to it while driving or while walking, but I guess I'm just like, my draw is toward physical books, and I just don't love listening to audiobooks. And when I walk, I like it to be in silence. And also the other factor is that my son is with me all the time, and so I don't know how moms listen to audiobooks, because a lot of the books that I read do have violence or some kind of aspect that he can't be exposed to, and so I just don't understand how moms listen to audiobooks, and I just don't want to go there right now. So that's another aspect of it. Like, I just don't get as much reading done because I don't listen to audiobooks, but that's totally fine with me. So the premise of this book is that Dominic and his 3 children are caretakers of Shearwater, a tiny island not far from Antarctica. Home to the world's largest seed bank, Shearwater was once full of researchers, but with sea levels rising, the salts are now its final inhabitants. Until during the worst storm the island has ever seen, a woman mysteriously washes ashore. So they begin nursing her back to health. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of things happening in this book, and so far I'm actually really enjoying it. Okay guys, it's Thursday now, and yesterday I did get some reading done, so I am at page 38, which means that I read a total of 35 pages yesterday. Not too bad for me. And so today it's like 3 o'clock by now. I will probably get some reading done this evening, So yeah, this is kind of normal for me during the week, just doing, little bits and pieces as I can. And then I get the bulk of my reading done on the weekends. So yeah, we're starting at page 38 on Thursday afternoon, and we'll see how much I get done this afternoon and evening. And yeah, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Okay, it's Friday now, and I was reading this book last night. I got to page 78. And I actually think that I have decided, sadly, to discontinue reading this book. So there are a couple of reasons for that. And one is that I'm a Christian. I let the Holy Spirit lead me in everything, including the books that I read. And so I just felt this check in my spirit that I should not continue reading this book. So I decided to DNF it. And so the reasons for that are: one, I did not appreciate that the author kept bringing the ghosts into the book, which I personally am of the belief that there are no ghosts, that it's actually demons. And I just don't believe that I want to have, I believe that what you read affects how you live. And I was reading and I literally felt the atmosphere shift in my spirit. And so I was like, you know what? This is not going to be something I'm going to continue. And I realized that the world that we live in just mixes all this stuff together, and we start to have a very muddled idea of what is truth and what's not. And so I believe that anything demonic, anything dark, anything that has to do with horror is not okay and is not acceptable for believers in Jesus. And so when there starts to be demonic activity in the form of ghosts, I am not okay with that. So that's my belief system, and that's why I'm stopping. And then the other thing is, please hear me out. And I believe, once again, this is a thing for Christians. I'm not talking about the world. There is a gay character in here, and I personally just don't feel that that's appropriate. So that was another aspect of it that I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna keep on. And the other reason is also that there is some swearing. It's not like super, super heavy, but I personally just don't like that. And so 78 pages in, we are discontinuing. And just some generic things about the book. It's very short chapters. Some of them are a little bit longer, but most of them are very short. And that made it feel like, I know it's supposed to make it feel fast paced and quick, which it does if you keep reading, but I felt like it made it hard for me to get into it, and it made it hard for me, like, as soon as I was really getting into the story, the chapter would end and it would switch to a different POV. And so I just, all in all, it probably is a good book overall, but just for those reasons, we're putting it down. And I am going to start my next book, which is Homeseeking by Carissa Chen. Now, this book, I actually don't know much about it at all. And I do also have it on my Kindle, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start this book now. And she's chunky. She is a thick book. And I think it's like, oh, it's like almost 500 pages. It actually is 500 pages. The very last page is number 500. So that's quite a thick book, and we're literally exactly at the halfway point through May. And so I have this book on my TBR for May, as well as Watermoon, which I do have that one on my Kindle, and I could borrow it from the library if I want the physical copy. So we'll see about that. But I'm kind of saving Watermoon for the end because for some reason I'm more excited about reading that book. So I just want to get through Homeseeking before we go into Watermoon. And I probably will not even finish this book in this video. And so I don't think I'll get to Watermoon in this video. So let's read through the synopsis here. It says, okay, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Haywen is buying bananas at a 99 Ranch Market in Los Angeles when he looks up and sees his Suchi, for the first time in 60 years. To recently widowed Haywen, it feels like a second chance, but Suchi has only survived by refusing to look back. Suchi was 7 when she first met Haywen in their Shanghai neighborhood, drawn by the sound of his violin. Their childhood friendship blossomed into soul-deep love, but when Haiwen secretly enlisted in the Nationalist Army in 1947 to save his brother from the draft, she was left with just his violin and a note: "Forgive me." Homesickning follows the separated lovers through 6 decades of tumultuous Chinese history as war, famine, and opportunity take them separately to the song halls of Hong Kong, the military encampments of Taiwan, the bustling streets of New York, and sunny California, telling Haiwan's story from the present to the past while tracing Suchi's from her childhood to the present, meeting in the crucible of their lives. Throughout, Haiwen holds his memories close while Suchi forces herself to look only forward, neither losing sight of the home they hold in their hearts. So the reason why I'm excited about this is because I feel like I'm hoping that it's a very character-driven story. I feel like I'm in the need for a very strong character story. Like, I feel like some of the books I've been reading recently I haven't loved as much, and so I just really want a book that I can dive into and just like eat up, and I'm really hoping that this book will do that for me. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it, so let's get into this book. Okay, so far I have read 14 pages, but I didn't have too much time yet to read, so I will read more before we go to bed, and I'm feeling very hopeful about this book. We just got a little glimpse into the beginning of Howard and Suchi. I believe that's their names. Howard is the English version, and then it's like Haiwen or something. Haiwen, I don't know how to say that, but Howard is his English name, and then Suchi is the lady in the story, the female main character. So we got a little glimpse into the beginning of their lives together, and then we got their separation because Howard got called to the military, I believe, and then we're just seeing them in the future when they first meet after, like, I don't know how long it was, 60 years or something? Yeah, for the first time in 60 years. So they met, and we're just slowly getting into little glimpses of their lives now, and it's very sweet, and I feel like it's going to be very sad, but I love how this author paints word pictures. It's like I can feel it, I can smell it, I can see it, I can touch it, I can taste it. It's like it's so real. So I will read a lot more over the weekend, hopefully, and I'm really excited about this book. Well, guys, it's already Monday afternoon, and so far today I have reached page 169, and I started this morning. I started on page 157, so I probably read like 12 pages. So yeah, I have not gotten too much done today, but I just read that during lunch, and then probably this evening I will get more read. But so far, I'm really enjoying this book. Like, over the weekend, I did not get quite as much done as I was hoping, but this is a big book. It's also like you have to be like in it in order to really enjoy it. Like it's written in the type of way that it's very hard to just kind of read fast. Like you have to really soak it in order to get it. Which is great. Like it's a great book, and we follow Howard and Sue. Their Chinese names are different, so I'm just going to call them by their American names. So we follow the past timeline is always in Sue's POV, and then we go to the present timeline, which is Howard's POV. And so it switches back and forth from chapter to chapter. It goes from Sue's previous POV to Howard's current POV. And their love story, like, I am eating it up. The romance is so good, and it's just like, I'm loving it. And I don't know if there's going to be any spice. I'm really hoping that there won't be. There hasn't been yet. And it's really been like, I love the characters are like so well developed, and you know how they think, how they act, like why they're behaving the way they are, and it's just really good. It's rich, it's enjoyable. I don't think it's going to be a 5 star, especially because at one point there was actually a scene of Howard and Sue in their previous timeline going to a, what did they call her? Oh, a fortune teller. And I believe that that's witchcraft, so I skimmed through that part. But other than that, I would say it's great and it's really good. And thankfully, that part was just like one scene and it doesn't bleed into the rest of the book. So I was thankful for that. But yeah, I will just keep reading, and I'm not going to finish this book in this video, unfortunately, but it's good. So yeah, so far, I would recommend. In Sue's previous POV, what we see is Sue and Howard growing up in China, and it's in the setting when the Japanese were controlling Shanghai, and that was not a good thing for them, and they did not want the Japanese to be there. And so you have that kind of atmosphere, and then we have just Sue is she discovers Howard as a child when he was playing violin, and she just like something about that. She just was drawn to him, and her parents don't like Howard's family, and so there's that aspect of it that she's kind of going behind their backs a little bit, and she just is genuinely like it seems like they were just like in love from a child's age. So as children, they were in school together and they were walking home from school a lot. And the thing about Howard is that as a child, he was very taciturn, very inward focused, and he just didn't speak his mind much. He didn't get into conversations with anyone hardly at all. And the way that it describes it is that he was just like focusing on music in his mind, and he was just thinking about songs all the time, given that he played violin and he loved it so much. It was like genuinely a part of his identity and his just the way that he lived. And so that just made it so that he didn't have any friends at school. Everybody thought he was weird and just left him alone. And Sue was like the only person who was friends with him and who was kind to him. And so they ended up connecting just because she was the only one who like tried to even be friends with him. And in the end, it ended up in them falling in love, and she did not want to admit it at first. But then it turned out that they were in love, and then it's interesting to switch then to the future POV to Howard. And I also like that they don't have like Sue and Howard in the past and Sue and Howard in the future, like the POV of both of them in both timelines, because that would get to be a lot of details, and it also makes it more interesting because I have questions about both of them. Like in the past, it's kind of making it be that you're curious about what's Howard thinking about, And then you switch to future Howard's POV and you get a little glimpse into his mind and what he's thinking in the future. And it's just interesting. And then you see from his POV what he thinks about Sue. And obviously, they haven't seen each other for 60 years. And so it's like, well, what happened in the past 60 years to create such a change in them? Because obviously, they both have changed so much. It's like, what have they done? What have they been through that has brought about such an incredibly huge change? And you see that Sue, she is similar in a lot of ways to who she used to be, but she's also very different. And so you're just like, well, how did that happen? Like, how did we get from point A to point B? And also, Howard was married to another lady. I can't think of how to pronounce her name at the moment. So he was married to her and she passed away. And you see him grappling with that grief, and it's just like, wow, like that's heavy and that's hard and very sad. But then you also see that he still has this attraction to Sue, and but she's resisting him and she doesn't want to be in love with him anymore. And so it's like, well, I think she had been married previously and I'm not sure what happened. We haven't gotten that far yet. So it's just, I have so many questions. Like, I'm so curious, where is this book going and what happened? What's the meat and potatoes of what really went down after I think Howard got drafted in the army until he had to leave? And I'm like, what happens? Like, I feel like when I get to that point, my heart is going to be broken. And I don't know how much more of the plot that I'm going to give away because that's already a lot of this part of the book. And I still have so much more to go. So I am confident that I'm going to enjoy the rest of this book. So it is now Tuesday afternoon. So it has been a full week since we started this video. I just got to the exact midway point of this book. I got to page 248 and it's 500 pages long. So that's 250 would be, exactly halfway, but it goes into another section. So I stopped at page 248. And I think I'm going to end this video now. I highly recommend this book so far. Like, the first half of it has been really good. It's definitely like a slow burn. It's not something that moves fast and you have to marinate in the book to enjoy it. If you're trying to read fast or try to hurry to get through it, I think the book is great, and we're definitely finding out more history now of Sue and Howard and just finding out more drama, and I think it's so beautiful. Like, their relationships, their history, their past, it all weaves together so beautifully, and the author does a good job of like interweaving their stories, and it takes a true talent to bring the past and future together with these two separate stories that just like come together so well. And I love this author, and I think it's a debut novel. These little blurbs on the back were saying it's a debut, and I was like, wow, that's impressive for a debut. So yeah, I highly recommend, and I hope that you guys are enjoying your reading month. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.